Here we go, folks.
We're good?
We're good. Tell us about the carp.
All right. Hi, I'm Bo Jervis. The big concept, which is why I'm here today. I'm here today to bring attention to you guys that there's a fish, or a species of fish, that is 6 miles away from our Great Lakes. This fish was brought to us by scientists who thought it was good to clean out algae and seaweed inside of farms. And the fish got out and spread into the rivers. And now if it gets into the Great Lakes, it will ruin a $7 billion fishing industry, our homes, our beaches, and I mean, when you go to the beach, you're getting slapped in the face by a fish because they jump out of the water. All right, what are Asian carp? How do they get here? Asian carp are bottom feeders for lakes and rivers. They eat all the things that native fish eat in the bodies of water. So fish, when they're growing up, eat like plankton or insects at the top of the water or algae. And these fish eat all that kind of stuff, but they eat so much of it in a shorter period of time. I think they eat 10 to 20% of their body weight in a day, and these fish can weigh up to 110 pounds. So, but that's like the max I think that's ever been recorded, but they usually weigh 30 to 40 pounds though, but I mean that's a big fish, and 10 to 20% of your body weight. That's a lot. These are the 4 kinds of carp: big head carp, silver carp, grass carp, and black carp. We're going to be really talking about the big head and the silver carp. Silver carp is usually that's the one where you see all the pictures of people getting slapped in the face by a fish or something like that, jumping out of the water. That's this one. But this is the other one that people are worrying about. This is the one that doesn't jump out of the water. So it's hard to tell if it's in Lake Michigan or not already, because it's not jumping out of the water, and if it's in there, then and they reproduce really, 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 really fast. So it's hard for us to tell if it's in there. But if it's in there, we're SOL, I guess you could say. How are they affecting us? Asian carp are an invasive species, and then I already talked about how they can ruin the fishing industry, and then our beaches. And then here's where they are as of right now, and then this is where they've been detected. So they started out somewhere around here, and then they just followed the streams and rivers, and you can already see how much they spread. Now, the only reason they're spreading like this is that these fish, since they're not native to America, they have no natural predators, so they can breed, and they're not going to die unless we do something about it, or unless we start killing them, like last time, or like drop a nuke.
Drop a nuke.
How do we stop this? The government has taken some action on trying to stop this fish. On the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal, which is like, back in the day we built this, we built a river that leads from the Great Lakes, like Lake Michigan, to, the next available river. And it's basically so that we could get rid of trash that was in Lake Michigan. And there's an electric current set up there to keep fish at bay. There's a series of metal bars that are like this big, that round, and they're put on the bottom of the water, and they are fed with electric currents that and they pulsate, and they're used to keep the fish at bay and not let them go past that. And then it says, but fishermen are finding fish 6 miles away from Lake Michigan on this canal, so now the government is worried this may not be working. I have a video, but we might have to talk. There's a customer video.
It's fine. Yeah, you have to manually do that.
This is not the video. All right, There is, in this video, viewer discretion is advised because there's drunk rednecks on a boat, and they have like a fishing contest thing going
So that's the
The
carp.
Asian carp was first brought to America in the 1960s by a bunch of good-intentioned scientists from Fish and Wildlife Department who figured the fish's vacuum-like bottom-feeding tendencies would make them good at cleaning out farm ponds in the Ozarks, which they were. Unfortunately, they were also really good at reproducing. After a few of them escaped their ponds via flooding, they took root in the surrounding streams and quickly spread through the entire Mississippi River basin, outbreeding all the native fish, eating up all the food, and completely choking every waterway they could get their eggs in. It's your classic immigrant scare story, just with fish, and I guess that's it. Everything else lines up, even the name. So that was a spot. Wow.
Alright. So, as you can tell, or as you can see, all the fish jumping out of the water, and that was the silver carp. And that's also a concern because when, like they were doing, driving down the river, you get hit in the face with that, it's causing some serious damage. I mean, there's people who've gotten broken jaws from that fish just jumping out of the water and hitting them.
Because the boat's moving at a speed and just the physics, yeah.
Or then you get fish slime all over you. Oh no. Alright. Oh wait, no. Alright, well that's the last slide. With the government's plan not working, it's now up to us. In Bath, Illinois, which is what they were on, or they were on the river at Bath, Illinois, this town holds a fishing contest. It's full of drunk rednecks who drive up and down the river on boats trying to catch these fish. And for whoever catches the most fish, they get a cash prize. So, because the government's, they try doing this thing with the metal bars, like I said, and it's not working, and they're getting too far. So now they're doing or handling things on their own. They're not worrying about what the government's doing because it's not that effective, and they're having to take it into their own hands. So I think it's like $1,500 if you catch more fish than anyone else on that river. So I mean, it probably pays for all the beer that they drink that day. And then I went over what Asian carp are, how they affect you, and how they affect the ecosystem, and how we were trying to get rid of them. And I hope that you either join me at this fishing festival that they have every single year, or you take action and write a letter to the government.
So what did you say? What exactly are they doing now?
They're just, you drive up and down the river with like the rednecks.
And they're just trying to catch them.
they're just trying to catch.
Well, how's the government reacting?
To this, they just go there and they just count the number of fish that you get.
No, I mean, what are they doing to stop this? Because you were explaining it's catastrophic to the Great Lakes, right?
Oh, they just put those metal bars in the ground.
The bars are what's keeping them.
That's it. So, it's just bars with electricity in them, and it's supposed to keep the fish away. It's in the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal.
So they're being controlled right now?
Yeah, but